and very intense years in banking. I've known Charles since 15 years, so it's quite a journey since then. And continue directly with actually how did we came to the idea to start up the company. And the topic today is, no, first need, I'm sorry. What we are going to do first is we're going to challenge you, and I'm going to make it easy for you. So, I would like to start with a question to every one of you. What is of worth, what is valuable for you? And we're happy to take notes.
I have a very nice handwriting.
Relationships.
There we go. That's a great one.
Health.
Health? It's nice.
There's mention of money.
Did you say bonds? You need to write bonds.
James Bond. Memories. Purpose. Friends.
Stocks.
The capital markets are well represented.
Living in the moment. That's a nice collection, no? And the other question we would like to ask you is, what is your perception of money?
It's important.
Useful, freedom, enabler.
Freedom.
Peace of mind.
Survival.
Necessary.
Instrument.
My wife.
That's a good one.
You don't have to write it, but everyone knows. Yeah.
Power.
Exchange. Exchange. Transact.
Necessity.
Energy.
That's a good one.
That's a very nice collection. And it's very nice to hear your inputs, and it seems to us that it's kind of a very philosophical book, because very often we see that if what is very valuable to people is very often contradicting what money means to them. But tonight it's very nice to see that basically both sides are already somehow aligned.
Well, we need to write stocks on the left side. Someone said it, right?
It's both plus.
And actually, exactly these type of questions were the driver when we started our company and when we started brainstorming. We've been throughout the years, we've been always talking and exchanging what we like and what we don't like in our financial industry. And as you can imagine, there are a lot of plus and minuses. But the major question which was always growing was is how do we invest our resources? How do we spend our time? How do we spend our energy, our mind, creativity, emotions? Are they invested in the right place? And what's the value for us out of it? And on a beautiful, well, not that beautiful, it was cold, but for us, very beautiful evening in February 2019, we actually kind of informally started discussing whether we should set up a different type of financial company with different purpose, with different ambition. And we continued meeting once per week over the next couple of months. And end of December, we decided that our time is very valuable and we should dedicate it to what is really dear to our heart. So on January 2020, we literally started the company on a blank sheet of paper, and that's the beginning. Woo!
Especially at the beginning, but still today, the question, what's your version, what's valuable to you? This was extremely important since the beginning, because also the step out of a conventional job into entrepreneurship, this was a very big step to us, and this reflection, what is really valuable to us, and where do we want to put our resources, our focus, etc. For us, I mean, we spoke many times about that, and also there were many fears, and fears usually prevent you of being brave, but you want to be brave because you want to be true to your values, and all these kind of questions came up, and it was, for us, it was a journey to align everything, our values and money. Therefore, it was very interesting to see how you perceive these two perspectives on actually the very same topic. And in this sense, to us, it's also a big wish to help people align all the resources and also money. And given we have spent almost 25 years in banking, when we know something, then it's money and investing. So we want to help people to care about their money, to invest their money, because most of the people, they don't get advice by the bank. And we actually know from our old lives that you need to have, in the best case, a double-digit number of millions in order to really get tailored investment advice. Otherwise, we just get the usual stuff, which is then basically to everybody. But 98.5% people, they don't have multiple millions with a bank. So this means that almost 100% of the people, they can't expect advice from the banks. And it's our ambition to give you or to everybody the tools that managing money is not or becomes very easy, because these days, and we experienced it even ourselves, and I mean, we are kind of the experts. Even for us, sometimes it was difficult to find investments which we really liked. And now that's the reason, or that's the idea how we built our company and UMushroom, our solution. So our platform, if you haven't seen it so far, is built on three pillars, or three kind of main areas. The first one is the platform, the tech solution that was demonstrating before. And here the special thing is that choosing or searching for investments is as easy as buying a pair of trousers on Zalando. And you might have experienced that with other financial platforms, searching for instruments, it's actually quite tricky, because when you search for something with very specific characteristics, you get a random result, but definitely not the result you were looking for. And in most industries, especially in clothing, so for example, if you look for a blue pair of trousers in cotton for men, then you have the filters, and look, you get your solutions. This, as I said, wasn't the case for financial solutions, and we put a lot of effort into our database and the visualization as well, to make it very easy to find the investment solutions which you believe are corresponding to your values. Then the second pillar is our education. We also realized that most of the people, and even for bankers, sometimes they don't understand what banks are really talking about, because a lot of jargon is used, and many people, they just don't like figures. But there are other ways how to explain an investment, and this is what we do. We try to avoid the jargon and also educate people. We have our educational program, UMushroom, which helps you to really get the understanding from the very basics, how money works, how the financial markets work, how the asset classes, investment classes, and eventually how you can build your portfolio very easily. And then the third pillar is the community, the movement. It's basically you, and this is what we want to celebrate tonight. And we are very happy about the community we are already having also on the platform. And we believe, or we are strong believers, that we can learn a lot from each other. And this is also, by the way, the connection to our name, in case you haven't heard the story so far.
So the name comes from the kingdom of mushrooms, and it was a huge inspiration because when we were setting up the company, we knew which values do we want to represent, and we strongly believe that everywhere on the planet, life should have the same value, which unfortunately is not the case. We strongly believe that people should have the ability to learn, and in the time of technology, poverty actually should not be a reality, and it still is, and it's not only in Africa. We don't have to go far away to look in Europe and find the situation. And also, the other value, which is very dear to our heart, is that all people, even in the company and entrepreneurship, should be really empowered to express their opinions. And people should be equal. There shouldn't be kind of a one is more important, one is less important, which, as you can imagine, is not the case in a lot of the industries. And on it goes. And independency, self-responsibility is another thing which is very dear to our life. And we were looking for a name. So exactly that moment, this movie came. And mushrooms are the third kingdom right next to animals and plants, and they're interconnected, they communicate with each other, they're all equal, and they grow together through symbiosis. And those are exactly the type of values which we've been looking for to represent in the name. And for those of you who don't know where the U comes from, because we keep getting this question, it sounds very cool, like you can say UMushroom, i.e. you grow, but it also is a combination of the mathematical symbol U, which is actually this conjunction in union. People are making a community. And you can read on our t-shirts and also on the wall. We have a beautiful motto for our movement, which is know your worth, and we would love to encourage everyone to go this path and ask herself or himself what's really dear to one's heart, and how the she or he engage in his resources. And the easiest resource to talk about, because you have immediate monetary impact, are actually money. So that's why we strongly encourage, don't be afraid to invest. It's a handicraft like everything else, like cooking, like bicycle driving, like learning to talk or to walk. And we bankers have this tendency to make things more complicated than they are, but we are happy to translate it into human normal German or English or French for everyone out there. And in this context, super happy to start a discussion and another asset class, as we say it in banking. In other words, another element which is, or another market which is very interesting, is actually art. Because there is no such thing as, it's one of those markets where you have a lot of subjectivity, a lot of factors which are not so easy to measure. You have personal opinions, you have obviously the place and the market makers, you have collector passions, etc., etc. And we decided to kick in the discussion of value, connecting it to the topic of arts. And our team, some of our teams are incredibly creative, and came up with the idea that we should actually do some art. And I think now is the moment where we can start. Yes.
So I do to start with my art piece. So all the pieces are here on the table or at the wall. Mine is basically the set table with the tomatoes. It's an installation, of course. And usually I express myself with food. I'm a passionate cook, but today it's slightly different for that's usually. So here you have two tomatoes. One had a life which in a very modern home in the Netherlands. It was all very perfect, all very clean, very safe growing up environment, and this tomato also basically complies with all the requirements, with all the do's and don'ts, and it's a perfect one. The other one has a slightly different tone-up, so it was it spent all the life in a kind of a chaotic garden, but 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 of course, this tomato is a bit small and really doesn't comply with all the standards because it's small and maybe it's not really red everywhere. And you can answer the question yourself, or you can decide for yourself which tomato you would rather want to taste, whether it's the beautiful one or the ugly one or the small one. But I mean, long story short, these tomatoes are just a symbol of how many things we just take for granted, because an industry is telling us that something is normal, that media is telling us that something is normal, that our environment is just perceiving or just doing something for generation and it has become normal. And it just I mean, encourage you to become aware of how many things we are taking for granted and as normal, and maybe start reflecting whether what you take for granted, whether this is really complying with your very personal values, whether these are things you want to have it that way or rather in a different way, and yeah, start knowing your worth, what is valuable to you.
Okay, in order to demonstrate what I did, I need to switch off the light, and I wouldn't make you feel uncomfortable and so, but given that our names is connected to the mushrooms, I picked up, and for those of you who can screen into the QR code and see it, we were doing a light installation in the kitchen. So depending on how you have these 3 mushrooms, and I was holding my handle like that with the light actually streaming to the mushrooms, and depending on the angle, you could actually see how they grow, and then they get smaller, and it depends a lot on the perspective. If this one is bigger than this or the other way around, oh yeah. There we go. So, and then you can turn them, and then you can, you see, all a question of perspective. And so is the topic about value. Value is actually relative, and it's a question of perspective. And this is one of the things which I would love to bring with us this part.
Hi everyone, maybe I introduce myself quickly for those who don't know me yet. My name is Lara. I'm with Luba Antonia and UMushroom for a little bit more than a year. And what I do, I'm not a minion of Lea, so I'm not marketing. I have the title COO, and I do a little bit of HR, a little bit of finance, coordinating to move in this building or in this office we are here. So I'm doing a little bit of everything, and also find acquisition and find relationships that are not to me. So I wrote a poem. I wrote a poem, and I would like and I would like to read it out to you. Investieren ist wie Pilze, so faszinierend und klug. Beide wachsen in Ruhe, auf dem Boden so voll Duft. Die Parallelen sind tief, wenn man genauer hinsieht. Lass mich dir erklären, warum das so geschieht. Im Walde der Finanzen, inmitten des Grüns, beginnen Investitionen sowie Pilze zu sprießen. Sie brauchen Geduld, genau wie ein Pilz im Versteck, um langsam zu wachsen und Werte zu wecken. Die Myzelien, unsichtbar unter der Erde, vernetzen sich leise in einem unsichtbaren Sphäre. So verbinden sich Investitionen in Unternehmen und Land, schaffen ein Netzwerk, das auf Wert zu was gerannt. Und wie Pilze, die aus dem Boden ragen, ernten Investitionen Früchten in allen Lagen. Mit Wissen und Sorgfalt wie ein Pilz im Wald können Investitionen die Höhe steigen, so bald. Doch Vorsicht ist geboten, genau wie beim Pilzesammeln. Man muss Risiken erkennen und klug handeln. Denn wie Pilze, die giftig sein können im Gebiet, können auch eine schlechte Investition bringen viel Leid. So erkennen die Parallelen zwischen Pilzen und Geld. Beide erfordern Sorgfalt, um zu gedeihen und zu zählen. Investieren ist wie Pilze, ein langsamer Prozess, doch mit der Zeit kann beides zu großem Erfolg führen, ohne Stress.
Sorry,
I will say something to it later.
an additional one.
Yeah.
So I already had a brief introduction from Laura, but quickly for those of you who don't know me, my name is Claire, and I've been with UMushroom since the beginning of 2021.
Yes, 2022.
It's been a while. So what I actually submitted as my art piece contribution to the whole discussion of the event is actually this. I would like to call it a unicorn barf, but feel free to judge by yourself how you see it. It's supposed to be a field of flowers. Now, a very interesting thing here is that I don't know how many of you would feel, but you would be able to paint that. Could you raise a hand if you feel like this is something I could do?
If you show me.
So funny enough, this was actually painted with balloons. And the way it functions is you take a balloon, you dip it in colors, and flip on the canvas. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, each and every one of you would be able to pull it off. So this is my art piece, and thank you for your attention.
Hello, everybody. My art piece is the rose over there. If it's a rose for everybody, I mean, I don't know. It's just funny because my friends who said were coming, like tonight, were there during the painting of this art piece. So it's like this. When we started with drinks, that's how it started. And then, you know, we just wanted to have fun and to start with, like, you know, a fun time with friends. And to me, it represents my life. It starts with nothing. And then I just, you know, that's how I do. Usually I do stuff, like my speech now. I improvise, and I don't know where it's going. And we only had 3 colors. And I was like, what can I do with green, pink, and blue, I think? And I was like, we'll see. So I started, and I painted for like 3 hours, and at the end I was like, looks like a rose. So, this is the painting. I hope you enjoyed my speech. Oh, forgot. I work with UMushroom.
Thank you. Okay, so
So we ask you some questions, and maybe you have to come a little bit closer, about the price and the worth of all these art pieces you saw of us. And would you like to say something? Okay. So on the poem, you said something, well, a lot of Herzblut, I don't know how to say that, but there is any money. Some would even pay 2,500 francs for that. And I'm very happy to say to you that it took me 30 seconds for this.
ChatGPT, I
So you lied.
I wrote it for you. I just ordered it somewhere else. So I think especially this year is everything about ChatGPT and doing a discussion about words. For me, felt very a perfect timing to put something on words here, because I think with ChatGPT, this word, this discussion is coming a totally new one, especially in written forms. Yeah, we can open a whole new topic on it, and I don't want to open that, but I just wanted to show that here as well, if you don't know the writer and you don't know anything about a person, I think it's, to predict a word is so hard and so almost impossible. So it's really for me it matters only what I think it's worth, and then for me something is worth it. And no matter what everybody else thinks, that's my person. So that's why I did that poem. So, but anybody who did 2,500, I would sell it to you. So. Yes, thank you very much for that one. So, and the painting, I think that's Lea's, because we have actually two paintings. So, also to see here, we have from 2 Swiss francs to up to 1,500, and we also would like to know from you, does it change also with the ChatGPT? Does it change your worth knowledge? Also, if you now know from the painting that it's done by balloons, and probably you can also do it. Does it change your perception on the worth?
No, because it's manual labor. You still have to do it by hand, right? With a machine doing that, yeah.
I would say yes. I know, because I think there are other things not yet being combined. So if I think I can do it myself, kind of feels different with having the knowledge.
For me, it was important definitely to help with painting. I think that even if I had the skills, I would never be able to actually replicate that. And of course, how you choose to put the things together make it unique. I mean, Andy Warhol, everyone said, I can do that, but it was unique.
That's the layer.
Well, who's the highest bidder?
Anonymous. It's anonymous.
What I would say with all your art here, wait 10 years until UMushroom is huge. And then you say we were like there from the beginning, art from these people. And then you can put 2 zeros more behind. Because that's also
But
art.
inflation, right?
I can do that. No, because that's also art. I mean, art also means who did it, yes, but were the circumstances and where does it come from? And then to have a piece of art of people who made a startup, maybe go mushroom zoo, that is a special kind of value you cannot replicate. You can't do it again. It's just once. And that's also with experiences in life, no? It's a once in a lifetime experience, they say, and it's an incredible value. And it goes the same with pictures or poems or
That's it.
But I also have a question here, and I'm wondering always, you said it correctly, well, wait another 10 years until the mushroom is famous. Well, why is it so important? Like, when we said that maybe the painting or also my poem wrote a famous person, why is it so important that this person is famous that it becomes your worth?
well, I mean,
Why is my worth not the same worth as the famous one?
what did the famous person do to become famous? What made the person famous in the first place? And then you can see, I mean, let's talk about positive effect, the positive side, I think. Famous because he or she did something amazing, positive, or enriching. And then obviously, when you see this comes from the person who has that in him or her, and expresses it and puts it out, that it's not just a piece of art, but a whole story. It becomes with it, and where you also identify yourself. And also, of course, the more people want it, then we are back in the market.
It's a higher.
Can I add? I mean, I see your point, what you're saying, but you don't know Laura, does she do poems like regularly, or is she using ChatGPT? It doesn't matter, but you don't know her story, so why can't you say her work is minor or lesser than the famous person?
That's the market, right? It's like a company. You have to prove you have
Right.
to prove it.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is where it can where it goes to as well. It's all relative. I mean,
And
you would put
It is and it isn't.
right, yes, but it's also coming from, as Laura said as well, it's what you put, your work you put into it.
You know, maybe that answers a little part of the question or of your thoughts, or add something to them. Sometimes investors buy, or many times investors buy art from totally unknown people. And in the end, you have a Warhol, or in the end, you have no name. But they see something.
Yeah.
And that's Thank you.
Very good team, huh?
Maybe it's also the beginning of something, no?
America. I don't say anything anymore.
I forgot the ring today.
Okay.
We actually have a real artist among us too. And the one is sitting very quietly in the corner. Julia, we're friends, I can embarrass you. Would you like to say some words about what is art for you? Very nice.
Actually, I'm not a professional artist. I'm actually a banker. But listen, I'm paid on actually the book issue for my painting of art this week. But at the same time, I did actually a master degree in art markets because I was curious, how do you actually determine the same topic? How do you determine which art what and what's real there? And to be honest, I think it's a little bit like the luxury goods industry. It plays a lot, with creation names, playing on people's ego, and manipulating and raising names, and creating the market and so on. And for example, traditional auction houses were created purely for trading art, which was inherited by someone, and they just couldn't pay taxes, right? And they had to sell it on the market. At some point, it was not enough oil for all the people who wanted to feed themselves from sales on the market. So what they started doing, they started creating absolutely new names from scratch, and in 10 years, raising their valuations to millions and sometimes $100 million, until it went to the extreme when Ben and Hurst, as an artist, went to the auction house himself and traded art in $100 million. And he was actually very honest about this. He said, I don't care, I just want to make money, right? And there were people who would still keep buying this. Unfortunately, he a little bit destroyed his name through this strategy because it was a little bit too much. But in the end, certain names are just justified by the history. The majority of artists never made money on this. It's actually the people who took over the collection after they passed away, and they could actually sell it on the market. And they created those names. That's how we know Van Goghs of this world these days. Who could never benefit themselves, rather lots of other people after their death could benefit in a very easy way. At the end of the day, it's a lot of perception, creations of importance. But I actually encourage everyone to free yourself around all this perception and to be honest. Just come, feel the energy in a very esoteric way, whether you like it or not. Who cares what everyone else thinks?
I think to jump back on what you said, I think that's super important, super interesting. Also, like the birth of the auction houses, I didn't know. I think that we have to distinguish what kind of value we're talking about too, because one thing that I think you suggested was subjective, or let's say, I don't know if it's subjective, but it's actually an absolute value. It's regardless of the market, do I give value to something or not? And I think that is everyone can do that, and if you no one can tell anyone that does not have value. If I think it has value, it has value. It does not matter. But obviously, if you want to make money out of it, then you need other people to agree with you. But I mean, it depends what you look for in art, right? If you want to enjoy and be happy, then you don't care how much money people are ready to pay. And if you want to make a business out of it, then yeah, I mean, you just have to have enough people agreeing that this has value, but so many people are unknown and they're so good. Good for them to make it.
It's a very beautiful point you're raising, and actually what we're talking here about is something that's valuable, the other thing is a brand. And a brand has a price, and what Julia was pointing out, what we've been discussing also within our team a lot is, when you create a brand, you really play with this scarcity on the market, you play with that you're presenting certain type of images, etc. That actually is also a lot of work. But when it comes to ballet, absolutely, it could be, I mean, you have that with wine, right? When you do the wine testing, we did actually, so my parents do wine testing, and then you, apparently I always go for the cheapest ones. I don't know, I need to change that. But you can't, I mean, who tells you what is tasty and what not? It's exactly subjective, but that's the value as opposed to, but yeah, it's a very interesting discussion. We have a real, and our real artists, what are we actually?
Am I? Really?
It's time for you to take the stage.
You think so?
I would say so.
Or the stage is yours.
There's one thing we didn't talk about. It's a thing to do art and be known, but it's also another thing to be loud. And maybe that's the power of the microphone. So I'm an artist, as you say, I guess. But it's so strange because usually you don't define yourself as an artist, but more as a guy who does stuff. And that's something I like to do. And I think it's like entrepreneurship, something I've studied. It's just doing things, and I think if you like what you do and you can get money out of it, that's fun. You know? So I write songs for myself and for others, and this is one of my songs. It's called Stumble. I hope it's not too loud. But let's stop being quiet, you know? I believe hope above, in the sky on the clouds, or maybe below, between fire and bones. There's someone toying with me. Every trial I take, every challenge I face, in whatever I do, I can't escape my fate. I keep failing on and on, yeah. And I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I know I gotta keep moving. Yes, I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I gotta keep moving on. I wake up in the night to the sound of my heart begging for me to find a way to break apart from this feeling of constant collapsing. And I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I know I gotta keep moving. Yes, I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I gotta keep moving on. And I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I know I gotta keep moving. Yes, I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I gotta moving on to get by. Oh, my troubles and lies, moving on to get free from my sorrow. Moving on to achieve all my dreams and leaves. Moving on to a better ending. I believe on the moon, in the sky on the clouds, or maybe below, between fire and bones. And I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I know I gotta keep moving. Yes, I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I gotta keep moving on. And I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I know I gotta keep moving. Yes, I walk and I run and I stumble again, but I gotta keep moving on. There's someone toying with me.
So now, let's talk about money. How much do I? How much? Just how much do you think? Yeah, you can download everything on Spotify. Let's talk about value. So I will wait at the end, with the hat.
And it's possible to make wishes, no? But you can play plenty of stuff.
Now?
No.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of. I like improvising. So if you like something, I know some people like some Swiss music over there. Yeah, like Laura's friends asked me already a song. So if you like artists or you have a favorite song, you can ask me. Maybe I know it, maybe not, but I'll try. So yeah, we can do it if you stay long. At the end of the night.
I mean, very briefly, before we move on to further music and also to the food, there we have another team member. It's Vlad.
Vlad!
Woo! Just introducing you as well as a team member here in the room. Vlad is developer, and you would have the chance to do plenty of art with ChatGPT as well.
Yeah, actually, the last piece of art actually was one of the beginning of my codes. So I don't know what they are worth for you, but yeah, maybe let's just talk why. I mean, you don't see this piece of art, right? Is it even a piece of art? This is why I chose my code. I mean, how can a code be a piece of art? Can we even claim that we are owner? Yes, we can or not. Maybe, I don't know. Can we even patent it or not? This is a legal question I'm not going to advance myself into. But I mean, I think it challenges what's art, because as every maybe a beginner developer or a computer scientist, we think that making a code is maybe Jill, you know when you're in your youth, let's say, you think that making the code, you're gonna crack the code, you're gonna make art, a good code that is a piece of art. Every nerdy developer is gonna fall on his or her knees to admire you, but actually this is not the truth. A piece of code is just what my supervisor likes to tell me: just get it done. Just not don't reinvent the wheel, exactly, Isabel, and just get it done. It has to work, and just get it out. And I believe as well, My brother also has maybe understood this with music, you know. You also begin as maybe, I'm not an artist, but as an artist you think, yeah, I have to make the best piece of art, but actually you have to try, right? You have to get the skills. And this leads me to the, aside from immateriality of this piece of art, I wanted to talk about another, maybe to debunk another myth of art. Art is conceptual only. Like, I don't have anything against your pieces of art here. They're really beautiful, but they are all, in spite of the fact that they're really real, I mean, touchable, unlike my code. It's very conceptual, right? I mean, yeah, you can do this, but with balloons. Yeah, you can. No, sorry, I'm kidding. I appreciate that.
You're leaving
It's all about the concept right behind, like Jackson Pollock making this, Andy Warhol making this. It's about the concept. Is it though? Was it always like this? Was it? I mean, the term art, if I'm not mistaken, comes from Latin ars, and is also closely tied with the ancient Greek techne, right? Which gave the words technology, technique, and all. I mean, we have this conceptuality of art that gives maybe the value of it, but we have the skills behind it. I mean, all the Michelangelo sculpting this, all the technique of great masters are. I don't think they began by making something straight away like this. Maybe by talent, maybe, I don't know. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't forget that the art as well has an artisanal kind of side as well. And you realize that making maybe great things, conceptual things, come with practice. And I think staying grounded as well sometimes. And getting things done. So yeah, this is why I put this code there, because yeah, to challenge some concepts about art that we have, and yeah. So I'm gonna end my speech there.
Member of our team, actually. And this is Luke. I'd love to share some words also.
So yeah, hi, I'm Lou. I'm not yet a member of UMushroom, but it's only like, as it was said, like a matter of phase until I'm joining the team, and I'm very looking forward to it. And I'm very grateful to have been chosen as a team member, and yeah, it's all very promising, and yeah, I don't know what to say. Sorry, I just wanted to.
I think anyway, it's enough of talking. Enjoy the food, enjoy the music by Igor, and
whoever has expressed himself creatively today, I must invite you once again. I know, please, I'm doing my job, so please take the brush, express yourself, doodle, create whatever you feel like, and thank you for coming and enjoy the music.
Now you have to play. It's like when the background music starts, right?
Exactly, man. Thank you for listening to the live. Was it good?
Yeah.